Hello. You may have noticed I've not been posting on Instagram recently. That is nothing to do with this video, but I just want to make sure that you realise that. There is a reason for it. It'll all become apparent in about 2 weeks. But I've been advised to quit photography, and hopefully stick with this one. This will help some of you as well. And I've been advised many times to quit photography, and I think we should look at that through the years. Started early days. I've got a degree and a master's and I wanted to be a photographer. My family advised me not to. They're like, maybe just keep it as a hobby. Don't go and do that. You've got qualifications to go and do something in science. Go do science. Lots of money, good money. I actually make more money now than I would have done following that career path, but they advised me to quit. And their reason at that point in my career was fear. Fear for me. They didn't wish any ill toward me, but they were like, well, there's safer options and they want me to be happy. They want me to be safe, to be, not worried about money. And that's why they said I should quit. Go and do something else. Don't do this. This is a silly idea. As the years went on, I had a partner who, thankfully, I'm no longer with. No ill wishes towards said partner. But I remember a point when I had a day job and I was doing photography as my side hustle. And I was advised to quit because I needed some money to do some stuff and I didn't have it. And they're like, well, maybe you can't afford to be a photographer. And again, that was just like the realities of life. Maybe you can't afford it. You need that stuff, but you haven't got the money for it. So maybe not. Maybe that's not the path for you. Now, in hindsight, I could afford it. I could have taken money from my day job to put into it because I didn't have any other hobbies. But again, being advised not to do it. Now, just before I went full-time, a photographer friend of mine who has been nothing but a photographer for his entire life was like, if there's anything else you can do that instead. Don't do this. This is a rubbish career. Now, this particular photographer doesn't perhaps have the career they want, and they were advising me not to do it in case I ended up down that path. I had qualifications that they didn't. They probably went, well, you've got all these options, go and do that. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be a photographer. Go be something else. But I wanted to be a photographer. That's what I wanted. Now, we'll get to the more recent thing soon. But I want to make it clear that throughout my career, people have told me to quit. And people will tell you to quit. I'd love to know in the comments below who has told you to quit and why they've told you to do it. And also what you did about it. Photography is a career that calls many and chooses few, I believe the saying goes. It is very hard to make it in this industry. It is, a lot of photographers are very skint, very unhappy, and it's not a good career path for the masses. But that doesn't mean it's not for you. And throughout these times of being told to quit, every time I gave it good, I generally sat down and went, they might be right. I think it's time to call it a day. Let's crack on at being a project manager or an admin assistant or whatever I was going to go and do short term, and then go back into science, probably get my PhD and go and be a lecturer. And obviously, if that's your career plan, you want to do that, do that. This is not me saying this is better, but if you want to be a photographer, carry on with this video for now. More recently, career's been going well. We hit COVID. And I told myself, I need to quit. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I'm going to have to go and get a real job. The industry has stopped. That's a natural response to the world going into chaos, I think. I don't think I overreacted there. So I started a YouTube channel. This was I'm going to quit photography. I'll be a YouTuber. I know a lot. I can just give on my information for money. That's great. Don't have to go and get a real job. This will be a fun thing to do. And I'm still doing it now. I do enjoy this. This is really good fun for me. I like doing this. I can't really do it in front of people. That's not so good for me. I have too much social anxiety. But oddly enough, doing this here, I'm in an empty room. Listen, it's so peaceful. No anxiety doing this whatsoever because I don't have to see your reaction in your faces. Makes it nice and easy. But I thought I should quit. I'm going to have, not that I should quit, but I've been quitted. The world has quit photography on my behalf. But luckily, it didn't last long. It was like 4 weeks until I started shooting again because I have my own studio and I live with a food stylist. Very fortunate circumstances. We did make hay whilst the sun did shine. And we got to this point. Now, I'm at a point in my career. I have done well. I am reaching a ceiling and my options are to quit or to do something really stupid. And I'm going for the stupid option because I've not quit so far, and I thought, being me, I should do the stoops. So I'm going to do the stoops. I'm going to make a huge career change. You'll see it over on my Instagram first, I'd imagine. Probably on my Patreon as well. I'll probably announce it on Patreon first and do a little video explaining the whys. But I'm going to make a huge change to my career. Huge one. I'm not quitting photography, but I'm changing my photography. And this is the first time I've ever done this. I've always gone, I'm not quitting, I'm carrying on. But now I'm not quitting, I'm changing. And this is a bit cryptic. I know I can't tell you all the details for various legal reasons. But there is going to be a huge change going on. And I'm going to let you all know about it when I can. But the point of this video is to quit when you want to quit. I am very pro quitting. I believe that quitting is great. I played the violin for years at a high-ish level, like sort of did my grade 8 level sort of work, and I don't think I did my theory test. I can't remember. Anyway, got to a point where I was reasonably good. Not good enough to like be a solo performer. Let's make that very clear. But I could have played in an orchestra, been a violin teacher, that sort of stuff. I was reasonably good. And I quit. And I should have quit 3 years before I did because I was so into my cycling at that point. I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wasn't in it. Now, with cycling, I did that and went to university because I got some injuries and health issues. And I tried to keep being a cyclist. And it made me miserable. Miserable because I couldn't compete at the level I wanted to for various reasons. I should have quit. The love of it was gone and I was battling through it. I should have quit sooner. Now, with photography, I've not reached a point where I felt like I should have quit. But I have reached a point where I need to change. And I need to change for many reasons. One is that I need more challenge. I need it to be more difficult. I need something which stretches me further. And the other is, I've kind of done it. I've kind of done what I set out to do. My wildest dream in photography was to get to a point where I had an agent and I shot adverts. I've been doing that for 5 years now. And I can keep doing it for sure. I'm not unhappy, but there's more out there for me. There's more I want to do. So that's where I'm heading. Now, if you think you want to quit, I think it's worth you having a look inside and going, do I want to quit or do I want to change? Because they're two very different things. Quitting photography is a big move. That's like, cameras in a bin bag, out the go, probably on eBay actually, because cameras be expensive. But change is good. Maybe you've got to this point, and this happens in relationships as well. There's a sort of sunken cost fallacy. I've been doing it for so long, I can't leave the relationship now. I've put 15 years of my life into it. I had hair when I started in this relationship. And photography is the same. Maybe you've got to a point where you're going, I've been doing it as a wedding photographer for 10 years. I've got all this experience, got all the kit, I've got all the marketing done. But maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to move on to something slightly different. Still within photography, not saying quit, but maybe it's time. I'd love to know your thoughts below. Let me know if you're at this stage. This is a bit of a meandering video, which probably will tank on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like this sort of content. But I wanted to put it out there so that anyone going through the same struggles that I've been going through for the last 4 months of this year perhaps has a sounding board or maybe even just some validation of how you're feeling right now. Anyway, I shan't ramble any longer. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.